Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to give you a bit of an overview and review of the Toyota CHR. I've been driving this car around Austria for the past 7 days and I thought I would give you a bit of an overview and a look around the vehicle. This is not a technical overview by any means. I've only been driving this car for 7 days, so bear that in mind. This is just a rental that I've hired here in Austria in the beautiful mountains. So I do actually like what they've done for the styling of this car. It looks really different compared to a lot of other Toyotas. They've got a lot of sharp lines and they've tried to make it look fairly aggressive, especially with these alloy wheels. It goes really well. Quite like this colour scheme as well. Apologies for the car driving past, but with the silver trim and sort of silver colour panels and the black finish in the top and bottom, I think it looks really cool. It's got some definitely nice shape around the sides. And the front looks really great with these wraparound lights as well, especially with these kind of daytime running lights and the halogens at the front. They look really smart. Pretty decent looking car. It's got some fogs as well. Now I don't exactly know the specific model of this because it's not written on the side of the car at all, but this is the hybrid model and it's a 1.8, but I don't know the specific specification. Has this unusual back where the handle for the back doors is at the top. Now that might be a problem for very small kids to reach, but other than that it's pretty cool. You can grab the handle, open it up, and this has got a dark interior because there's no sunroof, so it's pretty dark at the back, especially with all the charcoal colour, but it's decent enough. And inside you've got plenty of space for water bottles, got ISO fix points as well, and you've got some foldable seats that can push back. It doesn't have a armrest in the centre, so you can't push anything through like skis or anything like that, but you can fold the seats back. And as I said, it says Super 95 only because it's petrol. I do like these two-tone alloys, looks really good. And at the back you've got this nice chunky behind as such, looks really good. Again, I do like how this looks. The lights have put a lot of effort into the lights and the shape. Looks really cool the way it's styled. If I just open up the boot, it's got a pretty deep boot, but it has got a load lip, so not a massive amount of space, but I found it's been fine for a couple of suitcases. I had one main suitcase in here and another one I put on the back seat. You'd struggle to get two large suitcases in there. And if I go on this side, you can see a bit more detail the interior. Got this nice soft touch here with some vents, slightly harder plastics here, and we've got a button to press there for the glove box. Not a massive glove box, but it's pretty decent. So there's a bit of mess in here. We have been driving around for 7 days and kind of living in it. Seats are nice and comfortable, quite firm. They're not super squidgy, but they're decent enough for long journeys. So I'll just get inside the vehicle. Alright, so here on the interior you can see that Toyota have tried really hard to make this a little bit more interesting than some of the other cars that I've seen in the past. They've got this diamond shape repeated in a lot of different places, even on the kind of roof lining. It's really nice the way they've tried to put some effort in, at least, to give it a bit of a design language that looks interesting. Now it's got this kind of soft touch here, which is really nice, but everywhere else is pretty hard plastic. It's also got this piano fingerprint style, gets lots of fingerprints on it, hard plastic as well. The interior itself is built fantastically well. Nothing rattles, nothing squeaks. Down here you've got a couple of USBs, got a little area here to put your phone, or I've just got my glasses in there, and got these very deep cup holders, which are fantastic. I've got currently like a 2 litre, is that a 2 litre? No, 1.5 litre bottle, which is sat nice and happy in this little armrest here, and there's plenty of space. It's nice and secure, and it's got a few keys and things knocking around. Now this has got the CVT transmission, which I'll talk about in a moment, but this is automatic, and yeah, works reasonably well. Everything's very easy to reach. It's got this kind of main screen for the infotainment system, which again I'll talk about in a second. And then you've got quite a lot of buttons going on here, which I found a little bit annoying, especially when I'm steering, but it's not too bad. They're a bit cheap, plasticky feeling, but it's, you know, generally overall it's pretty good. Steering wheel's quite large, but it's got a nice comfortable grip. And yeah, I've got some easy to handle controls here. Again, you know, cheap plasticky feeling, very hard plastic. But on this side here, they've got this kind of hard plastic, but it's got this diamond shape again repeated, which is really, really nice. And this is kind of soft plastic down here. And all the way down here as well, this is hard plastic with this repeated diamond shape. And then you've got some speakers down here. The sound system in this car is fantastic, by the way. Very, very good. I don't know if it's only on this model, but the sound system is really, really good. Inside, there's no door lining, so if you do put anything in there, it does rattle a bit. And then we've got our vents on here. This has got a phone holder at the moment, but got some nice little metal inserts there for the vents. And we've got our kind of power system here, which is, because there's a hybrid, it tells you whether you're driving economically or if you're using full power or if you're charging the vehicle, and obviously speedo on the other side as well. And then you've got your indicator forks, and this is for the windscreen wipers, and the indicator on here, and your lights. And this has got automatic lights as well, you don't have to worry about that. And then it's got a start-stop button, which you have to activate in order to switch the car on. So if I just press the brake down now and press the start button here, you'll see that it all kind of lights up. And it says CHR. And then the infotainment system also lights up as well. Gives you a little bit of a reading, and you have to obviously switch that on to get it into the audio and etc. So if I just press that now, press the power button on there, you can see that it's got no audio sources connected. I normally have this Bluetooth to my phone. There you go, it's just picked up my phone now. And I've been using YouTube audio as I've been driving around, which works really well. This one hasn't got any kind of sat nav subscribed to it yet, so I've not been using that. I've just been using Google Maps on my phone, but it has got Apple Android Play. Is it Apple Play? Apple Play and Android Go, or whatever it is called. But anyway, your Android and your Apple phones are compatible with this. So you've got your audio, you've got your phone, you've got the bits about the car, so about whether it's pumping energy to the battery, so the energy flow itself. And then here you've got some notifications, and then you've got kind of general settings. So pretty straightforward, very simple, easy to use. Then over here you've got some plastic buttons for the ventilation system and some heated seats as well. And you've got some nice buttons here which are nice and tactile to control the temperature gauge and reduce the fan speed or decrease the fan speed, and then adjust where the fan is pointing to. So that's really nice. I like having manual buttons when you're driving. It makes such a difference. And then over here you've got that kind of repeated for the air conditioning, etc. And then over here you've got, I said, repeated thing, nothing different really. Main console, and then over here on this side got some suites over there which are essential for driving, and then we've got a little armrest which has got so much space. I've been able to put like my umbrella in there, very, very deep, and it's also got a little power socket as well, a 12 volt and 120 watt voltage supply. And in the back it is pretty dark. You can see that kind of letterbox style of rear window. It's really, really small, very, very hard to see, and that leads on to the camera system. So because the rear window is so poor, you're very, very reliant on using the camera on the reversing camera. You see also the back windows are very, very small. It's got these very big thick pillars, so you do have a few blind spots there. So on the reversing camera itself, if I just stick this into reverse now and put that in by pressing the button and put it in reverse, you'll see camera lights up. Now this might look okay on camera, but trust me, this is sort of 90s quality definition. It's really, really poor definition, this camera. So it's not the best camera in the world, but it does the job. What it does have that's very, very useful, which I think all cars should have, is that if you have a vehicle approaching from one side or the other, or as a cyclist or something, it beeps and actually shows you an arrow to show you where that's coming from. So if you can't see behind you and you can't see the road, sort of the total length of the road, if something's approaching your vehicle, it actually beeps. And this has saved my ass twice. I had a vehicle approaching me I didn't see, and it beeped and put the brakes on, and actually it stopped me from hitting that car, which was fantastic. It also happened with a cyclist as well. Didn't see the cyclist, but it beeped, showed me where they were coming from in that direction, and then I could see that they cycled past me. So it's a really, really good safety feature, and I think it should be on all cars. My Polestar, which is, you know, 5 times more expensive than this, doesn't have that feature, and I think it's a very, very good feature. So that has been really, really good. Now, I mentioned about this being an automatic. The automatic box itself is a CVT box. Now, if you don't know about those, worth researching them, but I really don't like the way CVT transmissions work. They're very cheaply but made. They're known to go wrong and have problems. So I certainly wouldn't buy a car with a CVT transmission. It's absolutely fine for a rental, but you'll find if you drive a CVT gearbox, they can never make their mind up which gear they want to be in. And it almost sounds like the car's struggling to move, and it's revving at high revs if you're trying to overtake or do anything really, that you just slightly touch the accelerator and the engine kicks in, starts revving. Sounds like it's really, really struggling. So I don't like the transmission. Now, bearing in mind, this is a 1.8 vehicle, I would say that it feels like a 1.6 or a 1.4. The power really isn't there. 0 to 60 time in this is 11 seconds. It's pretty slow and pretty sluggish. So it's a very unresponsive car. But that said, even though the engine's fairly unresponsive, it's very economical. So you're getting around 60 miles per gallon in this with the hybrid system. So it's very, very good if you're trying to get the most out of your journeys, which has been great for me on this kind of journey around Austria. It has managed the mountains and all this kind of landscape very, very well. However, it isn't very, very powerful. So when you're overtaking, you don't have the confidence, especially with this gearbox, to kind of move around cars at fast speed. That said, the driving position in this car is fantastic. The seats are really, really comfortable. They're quite firm, but they're reasonably comfortable. And you've got a great view of the road. So you can jack the seats up really, really high if you need to see more view of the road. Or you can have it slightly more lower down for that more sporty feel. But the driving position itself is very, very good. Very, very comfortable for long journeys. And also what you'll find is it has a reasonably sporty-ish feel to it. Like it goes around corners reasonably well. What I did notice though is the steering wheel feels very, very disconnected from the front wheels. You've got no feeling to this car whatsoever. It feels very, very numb. You don't feel connected at all to what's happening with the front wheels. But like I said, it's not meant to be like a super sporty driver's car, but it's decent for long journeys and decent for those short routes, and you'll get the most with the hybrid engine. So overall, this car has been pretty good for us. It's worked well, there's been plenty of space for our luggage, and it's been a comfortable car to drive around the sort of mountainous roads and on the main motorways. Would I buy one personally? Probably not. I love Toyota for their build quality and the fact that they're so reliable, but I wouldn't go for this particular engine. It hasn't got enough power. Now, the 2-litre may have a little bit more power and give you the power that you need, but the 1.8 certainly doesn't have enough power. At 11 seconds, not 60, it's so slow that I don't think it's a safe car for overtaking in. But that's just my opinion. If you're toddling around town, this is perfectly fine. You'll have no problems, and it's a very kind of comfortable car to drive. So yeah, this has just been a basic overview. If you've got any questions for me, bearing in mind this is a rental, I don't own this car, leave them in the comments below. If you found this video useful, please give it a thumbs up, and I'll catch you on the next video.